Fauci files released. The truth is being censored, and Facebook fact checkers. We have a lot to get into today, guys. Are you ready for the Fauci files? Now, before I even get into that, remember when this happened?
Here you are after this storied career, about to step down from this position as you go on to new adventures. And Elon Musk tweets out, his pronouns are prosecute Fauci. So he's describing you as a criminal who you should be prosecuted. And how do you feel when someone with that big a megaphone labels you a criminal?
Well, to be honest with you, Andrea, I don't pay attention to that. I mean, yeah, he has a big megaphone, but I mean, the Twitter sphere as it is has really gone berserk lately. It's got to become almost a cesspool of misinformation. So you're really not even sure what he said, but I don't pay attention. I don't have a Twitter account. I don't tweet. And I don't listen to tweets. So whatever he said, I'm not paying attention to it.
Now, I have a feeling that Fauci is going to pay a bit more attention to Twitter this time around. We have the full update on his release of the Fauci files, so make sure to watch until the end of this video. Also, are you guys on Facebook? When was the last time that your account got limited due to some weird circumstance? You know, something that puts you in Facebook jail? All of a sudden you can't like or comment or post anything? I remember there was a time when I was sending a link to a friend of mine for some news articles when suddenly I couldn't send a message anymore. As it turns out, they blocked me from sending any more messages. Now, I understand that it could have been an algorithm for spam, but I was messaging my own friend, someone who I would frequently message, mind you. But my story pales in comparison to how Facebook fact-checked Seymour Hersh regarding the Nord Stream pipelines and how the U.S. was behind it. Now, I'm just curious. Do you believe Hersh, or would you rather listen to Facebook? Do you trust Facebook? Now, before I continue, please do me a huge favor. Drop a like for the video, and if you really want to support the channel, be sure to share this video. You have no idea how much it means to me to know that you guys support the channel. And if you're new here in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to global happenings, the state of our economy, the stock market, the housing market, social security, and everything going on in Washington, D.C. that affects us, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for the best way to invest in gold or silver, check out the links in the description down below this video. The Nord Stream pipeline has created multiple discussions as to who actually sabotaged it. And sabotage would be an apt term that most fingers have pointed to the U.S. government and their public statements that would have the pipeline stopped.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly? Since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
Nothing like that reassuring smile of, don't worry, those pipelines are as good as gone, to calm our nerves. Now, we all have opinions, right? Some say that this is all a coincidence, while others say that another party took these words out of President Biden's mouth to make him and the United States look bad. Scenarios that open up different conversations, right? Okay, fair. Seymour Hersh, who is an award-winning journalist, had his own findings and research and put all of this up on Substack with the title, quote, How America Took Out the Nord Stream Pipeline, end quote. It's a pretty well-written article on how this administration took out the pipelines. And this guy really did his homework. This wasn't a conspiracy theory made up out of thin air. And if you guys remember, I've talked about this before. The difference this time around is that Facebook wasn't very happy with Hersh and his story. They're so unhappy that if you tried to post it on your account, you'd end up being flagged. Check out what happened to Michael Schellenberger when he tried to share this story on his social media platform. I'm going to have to narrate what's happening as he does this, but he's basically trying to share his story on his feed, and right as he click submit, Facebook is already prepared with a message that this is false information and that it was checked by independent fact checkers. They were gracious enough to add a CY button to explain the sudden block. When he checks to see why this was flagged as false, it cites a Norwegian article. So Norway is saying that they weren't involved and that all of this was wrong, and Facebook decided that, hey, they're right. The Norwegian article says that Hersh was vague with his sources and even said that his map was wrong. The article also said that Hersh admitted admitted that the map was not accurate. So I guess they just pointed out something that Hirsch himself already pointed out in his own article. I can't discuss the entire write-up, but you guys can check it out for yourself if you want. Let me leave this topic by asking you if it's right to have Facebook, a social media platform, decide what's the truth and what is false. Or, like all arguments, should we leave some space for our own opinions and points of view? I'd love to hear from you guys on that one. Now, moving on, you and I are very much aware of what Elon Musk thinks of Dr. Anthony Fauci, right? I mean, it's no secret that Elon Musk believes that the doctor wasn't very honest with us during the entire health crisis.
Dr. Fauci, as you know, there are still questions that remain as to the origin of COVID. The U.S. Department of Energy, about 2 weeks ago, put out an assessment saying that they have, with low confidence, that there's a possibility that this emerged from a lab. Right now, where do you think COVID came from?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we don't know. And I think that's where a lot of the accusations and confusion about who says what. We don't know the definitive answer to that. Obviously, there are two possibilities that are being entertained. And I think we need to keep a completely open mind until we have definitive proof. However, having said that, if you look at the information, because something might be possible one or the other, that doesn't mean one is more probable than the other.
And even after months of teasing about it, we now have the first set, at least I think it's the first set of the Fauci files. And like I first showed you guys a while ago, Fauci has insisted that he doesn't use Twitter or even read what's on it, as it's now filled with misinformation. That is, if you ask him. Now, this first set isn't completely mind-boggling to say the least, but it did show that back in March 2021, Fauci took over the Twitter account at WHOCOVID response to respond to questions. He did it again in April 2021 to pretty much do the same. Now he can say that he didn't necessarily use Twitter because he was probably just answering questions and someone else in the room was typing the answers for him. However, it would still be a conflict with his public statements and sworn deposition that he never got on the social media platform ever. It also says that Fauci was, quote, beloved by Twitter 1.0, end quote. I can assume that this was the social media platform before Musk. Now, one of the people who thought highly of Fauci was attorney Angela Scherer, who left when Musk sought to buy the platform. Scherer praised Fauci as the, quote, the leading trusted voice about the C-19 response in the United States, end quote. The Fauci files also shows that Twitter worked with Big Pharma to shape vaccine marketing strategies, or in short, make it so that there was one single narrative about the drugs. Something that happens a lot here since opinions aren't looked upon favorably, but this channel values your opinion. So I'm hoping that you guys can tell me what you think about this in the comment section down below. I'm going to be honest that this first set of Fauci files was a bit underwhelming and not at all surprising since we're all fully aware of the government officials and how they can lie under oath with little to no consequence. The health crisis had a lot of consequences on all of us. Small businesses filed for bankruptcy, some closed, loved ones passed away. Mandates were placed at such an extreme level that some of us felt as if our rights were taken away from us. Not to mention the economic disaster that we are all in right now. A disaster that we should not keep ourselves locked in. There are plenty of money-making opportunities out there, but you have to get over your comfort zone and just start them. Like side hustles and small businesses, these can probably give you multiple streams of income as the dollar weakens. Maybe invest your money in gold or silver to protect them, or even the stock market or real estate. The challenge has been laid out and we have to prove that we can get back to financial freedom. Now remember, none of this is considered financial advice. Always do your own due diligence, always do your own homework. And before I go guys, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up for the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you really want to support, be sure to share this video. Please be kind to one another